The UFC do not care if you're on steroids. Islam Makhachev in 2016 got tested positive for a steroid that was not illegal. So he was taking it, it wasn't illegal. Then USADA was like, nah, you cannot take this. Then he tested positive. But he was making a bunch of excuses and shit. And this guy on this Reddit post says it was the same steroid that the Russian Olympic team got banned for. And they're notorious for steroids and testing positive for shit they shouldn't be taking. Do with that information with what you will. Crazy. And they still let him fight, they still let him do his thing. Levi Rodriguez, he fought last week in his Contender Series fight. He tested positive for a steroid and they still gave him the contract. They were like, no, you can still fight. We don't give a fuck. First round knockout. Good job, kid. Loses his debut. This heavyweight tested positive for a steroid, then gets a Contender Series fight. Make that shit make sense. The fight gets overturned to a no contest. Tests positive. And they were like, no, come on in the UFC, kid. Manel Cap double titted up, knocks people out. Manel Cap, no, normal human being, gets decisions, loses decisions. Elion tests positive for a steroid, and they still give him fights. Not even that long later. Gets no ban, no nothing, still gets fights. Inconsistencies with knocking people out too. Outside of the UFC, gets finished, loses. Starts knocking people out, gets in the UFC, he's probably like, nah, I probably can't, I don't know how to, it's a bit risky going into the UFC and trying to, go for steroids. Loses, was like, nah, I need to get back on that shit. Knockout, test positive, let me get off that shit real quick. Loses, let me get back on that shit. And is double titted up the way through this. This one is the double tit, fucking double poke. John Jones, tests positive for a steroid. So they move the location to a place that allows the amount that he had in his system. Make that shit make sense. They don't ban him. They don't cancel the fight. They don't do none of that. They just let him. They just move the location of the whole event, which is crazy. Fuck all them fans that paid. We couldn't care less. And 2 fights before, or was meant to be 2 fights before, test positive too. Daniel Cormier, drug test, cancels the fight. Daniel Cormier wins the fight by knockout, drug test for the fight. Alexander Gustafsson, tests positive, moves the location, then goes on a 3-fight fought streak of shitty performances, then takes 3 years off to move to heavyweight. Loses one of them. On steroids probably most of his career, if not all of it. Izzy is another one. In the Paulo Costa fight, grew a tit out of nowhere, just like Manel Cap. Look at that performance. Probably his best performance. If not that one, the Rob one. The first Rob fight. Test positive for it, and he said it was because I was smoking too much weed. Where is the correlation between weed and growing tits? Where is that? Do we know anyone that has done? Do we know anything about that? I don't think so. Makes no sense. It's even a thing in boxing. Like Ryan Garcia, he tested positive, and if you look at the way he tests in his fights, I'm pretty sure he only starts testing like 2 weeks out for the fight, which wouldn't. You can cycle off of it. You can get the rewards from it and cycle off, and then you'll be fine. That's why Devin Haney won't fight him, because of that. He's not on that all year round testing, because if he was, why won't he? What is the reason Ryan Garcia won't get on that? I don't want to get woken up in the middle of the night. Well, it wouldn't be an issue if you weren't on steroids. What is the issue? It can't be that. It's not that big of an issue. They all do it. They're fine. Why can't you do it? Because you're on steroids. That would be the only thing. You're doing something that you don't want to be caught doing. That can be the only reason. But yeah, that's like 5 examples of fighters on steroids or fighters getting tested positive for shit and they let them fight. The safest one out of all of them is Islam. That's the safest one. He's the one that is a bit maybe not. This guy, positive on steroids. He was on it. These fighters know what they're taking. All these fighters know what they are taking. They just don't know how to hide this shit. Some of them do. Sometimes some of them do. Sometimes, but not all the time. And then they get caught now and again and they're like, oh, it was because I took a dick pill. I got some creatine from some guy in a gas station and he just told me to take it. And I just, could not resist in the moment. I just couldn't resist. Find out it was cocaine. My bad. Didn't mean it. I'm fighting in 2 weeks, guys, so it doesn't really matter anyway, does it? Still getting my money, still getting my fights. Oh, I grew a tit. Oh, it's just, I must have just, ate the wrong thing. Must have just, it's because I smoked some weed last week. Like, no, you are on something that is fucking up your body. That is not natural. Growing tits is from a hormone imbalance. You get that shit from steroids. Look at John Jones when he was fighting DC the second time. You thought I never said the word steroids and being all feminine. No grown man acts like that. No, they don't. John Jones doesn't even act like that himself. How is that happened? How is your testosterone that low? Or why you all of a sudden now acting like that? And then never again if you acted like that. Doesn't make any sense. And it never will. Well, it does because he's on steroids. That's why. He was taking something, whether he was taking testosterone, whether he was taking whatever the fuck he was taking, has fucked his body up so it can't naturally produce something, or his body's relying on something, or it's just fucked his body up. But yeah, I think I've proven my point. Manel Cap tested positive in his career. He is on steroids. This is the proof that Manel Cap is on steroids. And the proof here is that he has double titted up. You don't get that. It wasn't years ago. He wasn't a few years ago. Now when he's knocking Royval out, he's titted up, knocking all these guys out. As soon as he hits them, it's not even like he has this touch of death now, where he would literally knock out anyone if he cracks them on the chin. Obviously that's his weight. Doesn't make any sense. You don't just gain power from, oh, I was working on my power. That's not, you don't just gain like power like that. You gain it from getting double titted up. That's the sacrifice. That's the sacrifice. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about this for a little bit, and that's it.